just a second. We're live. All right. Well, we are live. Welcome to the Options Hour. If there is any audio issues, please let us know in the chat here, as this is the first time in a year that we have done Options Hour. I think it's exactly a year and 1 week since we've run, or 2 weeks since we've run this Options Hour. So welcome to Options Hour number 27, the first of the new year in 2025. So since December, Panoptic has actually launched their V1 protocol. So we're very excited to be talking about the DeFi options market now. And yeah, so we'll kick it off to Guillaume with the new year.
Hey, welcome. Hey, everyone. Yes, very excited about the options hours. We will try to do this kind of frequently. We want to have people be interacting with us. We have the links on Discord and also the comments on YouTube if you have questions. We'll try to keep it short at 30 minutes. And we were doing this before, maybe several months ago. And now we'll keep doing this with fresh content, real analysis perhaps, and then real trades and insights from the Panoptic protocol. And I have this, I think you see the screen. What I wanted to highlight is the history of Panoptic, because I looked exactly when we launched. And this was on December 18th at 11:30. So that is where hopeful we launched the protocol. I personally was trading a little bit, but immediately afterwards, within the next 24 hours, we had a huge drop. This was how the markets respond. I'm not sure it was because of Panoptic, but more generally, markets move. Turns out that most people fared pretty well. It's not as if we even those that had options on were fine. We're doing something where it's a monthly option, so it's quite wide. And even if the price seems to be very sudden in change, it was a 20%-ish drawdown perhaps, but it was fine. Most people were able to survive. And the options that you were selling or buying were still kind of solvent. So overall, that's the initial rather sudden birth of Panoptic. Stuff quieted down, go up, and now again, as of a few days ago or a few hours ago, last night as well, it all went down, but that's fine. That's how it is. So I'll go with my journey with whenever I'm trading options, but I kind of look at the price to see what's going on. The past few hours and was pretty sudden. So if you're trading options, you don't have to be on top of it 24/7, because there's no way as a retail user you can catch these drops. This is extremely sudden, and I'm sure that if I go on Etherscan, the gas probably has spiked. So you don't want to be stuck trying to respond. Yeah, 40 Gwei. You don't want to be stuck trying to respond. And this is after the fact. This happened maybe 30 minutes ago. There's no hope. The only thing you can do as an options trader is to be positioned in a way that you don't overextend yourself. Your size is under control, and you can shoulder this is 5% drop, 6%. You can shoulder this and be fine. It's not as if you have to be responding. So as a trader, this should not be something that you will get auto liquidated if you manage your position well. So again, coming in, see a drop, then you go and look at the different market conditions. But this, in the end, is kind of what we have. So I'm going to go over a few insights and a few maybe best practices. And then Brandon as well will join for something a little bit more in depth in terms of analysis. But for now, this is kind of where we start. So we have the main interface. I like to go into markets one because it has a lot of different quantities. We have most TVL is in the first two markets, ETH USDC and ETH BTC. So quite surprisingly, you can trade the ratio, and there's a good amount of TVL and amount sold, but we'll focus mostly on the ETH USDC. But that's kind of the more mature market. This is the one that has had the most activity. You can see here for the passive depositors, we call them passive LPs, If you've been in the Uniswap, in the ETH USDC pool and on Panoptic since the beginning, you would average out now 28 and 21-ish% APY just by doing nothing, just staying depositing your funds. And that's kind of the first step in most users. If you want to enter into a new trade, you want to create straddle or whatnot, you need to deposit first, and immediately after this deposit, you earn a yield. And this yield depends on how much activity there is in the pool. I'd expect that the past few hours might have triggered someone to trade, but the gas again may be too expensive. But you can just see. Oh yeah, there was a liquidation. I'll talk about that. But you can see from the initial price move, it might be reflected a little bit on the yields. And on the interface, you have a lot of information about this Panoptic market. Here again, the yields on ETH and USDC. There's one parameter which is a pool utilization of this bar here. This is quite an important one. So if the utilization is high, that means that there's more selling than buying. And if the utilization is lower, there's more buying than selling, or at least it's a little bit more in equilibrium. And what we've seen also and on the current trades is that most people are buying call options, and the call option is the ETH side. And if people were to buy puts, it would be on the USDC side. So we see a lot more options being bought on the ETH side, and a slightly more number of options being sold on the put side. If you know about the, and I gotta show you this means the direction is mostly bullish. So if you sell a put, this is what your payoff looks like. If the price goes up, you make money. It caps out, but this is a positive or bullish strategy, buying a put. Similarly, if you were to buy a call, you also want to see the price going up. In that case, you also have a bullish outcome. So we don't see a lot of put buying, and that's why, again, the put buying will be something that looks like that. Those that were perhaps buying puts would be making money now. If you buy a put, we're way out here, you are pretty much making money as the price goes down. It's hard to predict. If you were to sell a call as well, it's something that, again, people are buying calls, so people are selling calls also willingly, but this also has a bearish outcome. And then this is kind of unbalanced. So one thing that's kind of good to know is that this is the payoff of a naked call. This is what you get if the price moves. You seem to be losing quite a bit, and that could be scary. However, you can do what is called a covered call, which is you sell a call option, but you hold the ETH as well, so that you kind of transform this on the upside so that it's not going up but flat rather. So we'll try to make the interface a bit better on that front. But if you see a lot of people selling calls, those may be covered calls, meaning that they are not exposed to infinite loss if the price goes up, and they are kind of okay maybe selling ETH on the way up, and someone else may be happy to buy ETH on the way up cheaply when they buy a call. So that's kind of the landscape. What we see, and again from the UI as well, we have the different strikes that have been traded. We have the delta of these strikes here, and then in that case, if you sell a call, you can choose whichever strike you want. But can think of people selling calls, having some type of either selling ETH on the way up or kind of negative or bearish take, and this is what we see more. So if I go back to the market, the whole thing is very hopefully options-like. When you look at the options chain, that might be what you're used to. And as we see, we still have the delta here, the quantities in that row, same delta here. So this is, and maybe this is also options trading 101. What you have in the middle are the strikes of the options that you're trading. Goes from 2774 to 4171. So you choose from a strike whether you want to trade puts, which would be liquidity on this right-hand side, or want to trade calls, which is on the left-hand side. So if I were to buy a call, and I think the price will definitely go back up, and I'll buy the $4,072 call, I can click buy here. This is going to get me to the trading interface with that option preloaded. If the price is here and it goes up, it's clear to see that you make money. And that's kind of one way to enter. You have the same options tab here. These are buttons that allow you to navigate. It might not be as clear, but you can navigate to the different columns. If you want to sell, if you want to buy maybe a put as well, you can buy the $3,000 put. Now we have what looks like a straddle, and you benefit from movement on both sides. Whether it's going up or down, you make money. If it stays between a certain range, you lose. So the options chain, if you're coming in from the options trading world, that should be where you maybe enter your trades. And the options chain is featured on the markets page. And you can see the open interest, like 50, 25K. This is fairly healthy. Same thing with number of ETH. 6, 7, 8. So overall, it's fairly liquid for the retail side. And then if you want to buy or sell options, it's fairly available. So that's kind of one cool maybe starting point. Go to the options chain, look at the delta, look at the amount of liquidity available, and that could be kind of your entry point for a trade. I won't go too much into the details, but you can do some peeking at other people's position or some type of cool investigative work, because if you look at some like a strike like this one that has a good amount of open interest, you can click on that strike here and it's going to show all the other people trading that one strike. So this is 3,128 strike on the put side. It's actually an LP position that has a width, so from 2,400 to 4,000. You see who else has sold that strike. So we can see the owner, it's like a little blocky, also the trade that they've done. So this person sold a put. This person bought an Iron Condor, or sold an Iron Condor, but bought that leg. Sell a put, sell a straddle, put, straddle, Iron Condor, and Condor, straddle. So you can see a little bit everybody's positions. You can even click on the name and look at what the portfolio looks like. So I don't know who this person is. I can be in spectator mode, look at their position. They made some money, actually, pretty good. And they have two positions, one short put, one short call. And the key point is that they are net positive. If one leg is losing, the other one is gaining. We do portfolio margining, so you can offset the losses and the gains of the two of their ones. And that person probably is happy to make money, even though it went down. They made money on the call, lose money on the put, but then the net was pretty good. And again, the information that we show, it can be quite advanced and overwhelming, but you see the streamia, which is how much they earn in fees. And this is only going up if you sell. So they made 400-ish in terms of fees. And then with the directional, they made 400-ish in terms of P&L. So they were neutral in a sense, but then the fees is purely profit. So that's kind of one way to do this. But yeah, so at the end of the day, I like to peek around and see who else is participating to the different strikes. What we're trying to show here is that a lot of the liquidity that is sold can be purchased. And if you look at whoever is participating, sometimes you have negative numbers or positive numbers, but the positives mean that 10 ETH worth of liquidity has been sold to that strike, and about 8 ETH were purchased. And that's kind of showing you that at the end of the day, there might be 1.5 ETH for the liquidity still in Uniswap, but you have this kind of PvP dual nature. A lot of folks sold options. One person bought a lot of them. Again, we can peek and investigate. And that person bought a call. I would imagine they may be losing a little bit. But contrarily to what you have maybe in perps, they didn't get liquidated. They just maybe lost. They have premium to pay. But if they hold on and are convinced that their initial kind of directional bias was true, they may still hold back to 4,000, 5,000 and make money. So the view that I see is that all of this is very visual. All of this is all pretty open. You can click this as well and see the other people and see their portfolio. But at the end of the day, it's all very, very transparent. And you can see how people are performing. Another account, some BTC and what wrapped I coined, a meme coin. But this person, I think, oh yeah, they bought a straddle on the ratio BTC ETH. And you can see. So again, a lot of what we hope people listening and people also trading, you can see other people's trade. we will make it easier to maybe track the high performers and the leaders of the field. But you can go around and see, okay, this person bought a straddle, maybe I'll sell one, or at least I'll be participating in the same one. So at the end of the day, the whole interface is very smooth and seamless. The whole thing is accessible. I didn't connect my wallet there yet, but I'm able to see everything, and I'm not able to trade as a US user, but you can still kind of mock trade and kind of sell a put if you want. Yeah, now it's going to prevent me from doing anything. All right, so that's kind of the my part, just trying to showcase a little bit. This is recorded, so you can go back and watch it a bit more slowly.
There are a few video issues it looks like we're facing, so apologies if you are not able to see the video updating. I think everyone can hear you speaking okay, but if you weren't able to follow along with that, please head to app.panoptic.xyz, because there are some really cool tools that Guillaume was just explaining that you probably visualize unless you go look at it. So
I apologize. Yeah, this is the training wheel still on, so we'll have to redirect, but maybe we'll do another one later this week. I think at the end of the day, you guys that aren't hearing me, I guess the goal is to be exposed to the interface, understand like what to look for, how to click. I always said it's like a video game a little bit. We can have you start playing League of Legends, but you have to kind of watch people play for a little bit, lose a few games yourself before you know what you're doing. So this is similar to the goal of what we're trying to achieve here. So hopefully we will be able to upload the real feed, but at the end of the day, I was just going through the motions of what I do every morning. For instance, when I log, I look at the protocol and kind of go over the cool stuff that we can do. So yeah, apologies, but overall, hopefully it's going to be something you can see, I guess, offline on YouTube when we upload it. So, all right, I'll hand it off to Brandon, and you can tell me if that still works. But yeah, for now, I'm done. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining. We'll see you maybe later this week or next week.
Yes, no, this was great. Thank you. Apologies again for the videos. We're still working out these technical kinks, but yeah, just wanted to do a little report on the total options market right now since we launched. So the Panoptic protocol has reached $855,000 in trading notional volume in just the ETH USDC pool since launching. So we're almost at 1 million. We're 145K short in that ETH USDC pool. So very exciting. That has been the most popular pool. So it's been fun to watch all the ETH options. Of course, there are points that are going out for this pool, the ETH USDC pool. We're rewarding Panoptic incentive points called PIPs for both the ETH side and the USDC side. So if you deposit ETH or USDC single-sided, not